very, I guess, humble, I would like to say. Yeah. So to me, 1 year after, about 1 year, yeah. So, correct, because 20, yeah, correct, yeah. So 1 year into it, I paid for my first deposit for my BTO. Of course, it takes very long to build, right?
Yeah.
It's built to order. Yeah, but
1 year after your job is pretty soon. Oh.
It's pretty
yeah,
fast.
it's like
eh?
lock it in.
Do you
But
know
no.
your husband?
But I mean, of course, the context is I met my husband when we were quite young. Okay, not very young also, cannot say things right. But generally, yeah, comfortable. I mean, of course, we spoke about it. Are we really serious about it? So should we then commit to a flat together? Yeah, a very typical Singaporean kind of settling down. Yeah, so we did. Yeah, and thank God, all is good. Yeah, so yeah.
It does sound quite rare though, to be so quickly to be able to like to even just try to buy the house, because it's really a huge financial commitment. Do you think it's like the financial habits that you put in place for yourself, does it really help to really build this initial amount that you needed, or even to tell yourself that you're comfortable with buying the house?
I think it's more the confidence. Yeah, like the confidence. I mean, the discipline, spending habits. Yeah, or discipline savings. Yeah, makes me feel more confident that I can commit to a flat.
Because you'll be able to continue to service yourself.
Yes. And I think also because I didn't go for like the high-end property. Yeah, I'm not saying like BTO is bad, but to me it's comfortable. It's a level that I can commit to. Yeah, and I really don't remember forking out much cash outlay. Yeah, but more of like, yeah, I think it's really from CPF, if I don't recall wrongly. Yes.
So like one of like the major factors of why like you kept on like insisting on emergency fund and saving was because of like maybe you also want to buy a house very soon after your first job. Is that why?
For
like,
emergency fund,
or like just saving up like in your safe deposits?
Actually, for emergency fund, it's more for my liquidity.
Oh,
yeah, because okay, so like you grow up, then you save piggy bank. So like when I probably graduated, I probably have like, I don't know, 3-4K from like the
the small little
$5 that you save, right? Which probably equals to your first paycheck. Yeah, then I realized that but if my first, I mean like if I were to lose my job or if anything were to happen to me, then where is my liquidity? Yeah, so when I save for my emergency fund, it's really more of the rainy day concept. Not that I am so bleak about life, but generally I just feel that I need to be comforted to know that okay, should anything happen, I do have like this amount of money to tide me through, right? So if I get out of my job, my boss decided get out, then I'll be like, oh no, then how do I sustain, right? So then at least I have the idea that okay, I do have like a couple of months. 6 months can be quite aggressive actually. Yeah, I mean like but to me I just feel like okay, I want to be comfortable enough to say that I can take my time to
for a new job,
something like that, if it's from job or if like any other things that happen, or should anything happen, at least I know that I have liquidity to tap on. Yeah,
it's like worst case scenario lah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, so it's a rainy day concept. Then I guess the idea of disciplined savings and investing and really planning out your portfolio kind of give the confidence to then commit to bigger purchases. Yeah, which is why like perhaps like 1 year into my job, I'm comfortable to say that okay, let's secure the first big asset of my life. Yeah. So that's how it linked. I find. Yes.
So like as I find, I know you have 2 kids, right? You have 2 kids.
Yes, I have 2 kids
and a husband.
Yes,
and like you're happily married with 2 kids, correct?
Yes.
And I would think that the expenses for like example your school fees or like childcare or even housing or like expenses for your kid when they're sick can be very costly, right?
Yes.
So like with this like amount of like increasing expenses, do you have a mindset of always focusing on increasing your income as well? Or do you like focus on increasing income and just not cut down on expenses? Like, how do you tackle the situation with how many like
basically increasing dependence, right?
Yes, correct.
Realistically speaking, I would like to say that we maintain expense or cut expense. It's actually really difficult. Yeah. So I think like it is also about it's a bit of give and take situation. Yeah, like any compromise. So for example, so it's up to individual couples, right? But for myself and my husband, we actually have a joint account. Yeah, so when we have a joint account, we actually transfer a percentage of our income into it. And so any expenses that comes from the household will be paid from that account. Yeah, so and answering to your point, right, as you get more dependence and all, the expenses definitely will go up because you have one more mouth to feed, right? more diapers to buy, more milk powder and all. So actually our allocation of the percentage that we transfer into that joint account gets higher as the years go. So we will look at our expenses. It's very okay. I know not a lot of couples do this, but we are, because my husband is accountancy trained and I'm banking and finance trained, so we are quite particular about this kind of stuff. So we actually will sit down and look at like our monthly expenses. So we have a pivot table, like it's like
Excel sheet.
something like Excel sheet. So I have my own Excel for my own spending. Yeah, he has his own. I don't know what he does lah. I mean, yeah, but generally the joint account also have Excel that we track the spending. So for spending, we track like, is it for baby? Is it for household expenses? Is it for travel? Is it for food? Yeah, then we will have a pivot table. I mean, simple stuff like pivot table. Then, how come this year our food expense so high? Hey, I think maybe we should relook at maybe we should stop going to restaurant as often. So we do that, but of course it's not until like every meal we must eat like $2 per meal. Not to that extent. Then of course when the kids come, the expenses go up. Yeah, it's inevitable. So our proportion of transfer from our income to the joint account goes up. Yeah, then of course that means that we have less for ourselves also. Yeah, that is about how to make the rest of the money work for us.
Work for you.
Yes, correct. So but I don't think that my lifestyle is significantly compromised. Yeah, I just feel that I think it's about making do. I have the idea of the more you make, the more you spend also, if you're not disciplined. Yeah, so that's something that, yeah. So for example, like for my first child to second child, so my husband and I, we love traveling. So we discussed that traveling is something that we don't want to fully compromise on. I mean, we can take less trips, we can take like shorter trips, but we must still take trips as a family. Right? So for the first child, we were still comfortable because, I mean, okay lah, one additional air ticket is not as painful. Then suddenly when the second child came, it's like, wow, how come a family of 4 so expensive now to fly? I mean, imagine you used to be...
Still the children ticket price though, right?
So thank God my infant is still infant ticket, but still it's additional expenses. I think there are some taxes. Yeah, but so when my first daughter turns 2, right, so 2 years old above, then you got to start to pay for ticket. Then I realized, so our trip changed from further place to like nearer place, but we still go and we still spend time as a family. Yeah, so that is the compromise, like yeah, so you got to make do. I think within a category of spend, there are different amount that you can navigate and all. Yeah, so am I answering your question? Actually, I don't know, but yes, I hope so. Yes.
I mean, I get a gauge that it's like work for your own lifestyle.
Yes, correct. And of course, the lifestyle must go back to, eventually your how you want to allocate it. But for me, it's very clear. You should not be compromising your portfolio just for a certain lifestyle that you want. Yeah. Yes.
So like, do you work, like you and your husband agreed to work hard to and able to help fund for 2 children? Like, is that like?
Actually, I think it's okay. The nature of like basically we will spend within our means. Yeah, of course we want to work hard to provide for our children, but it's always about where your priorities are. Yeah, so and it's not okay. So my husband is in the sales line, self-employed line. So it's the concept of like the more you work, then the more you earn, right? Yeah, but we are very clear that it's not until like you want to chase the very last dollar and then you sacrifice like everything else. Yeah, so I think it's a lot about sitting down, thinking about what are your priorities. Yeah, and for us, our priority is, of course we cannot be like I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that, and spend and all. But within a certain matrix we spend from there. Yeah, but of course cutting down on like branded stuff is definitely something, a compromise that I've taken. Yeah, so I stopped buying my Ferragamo. I mean, I still sometimes tempted to.
Ferragamo is a French-Italian brand, right?
Italian. No, it's Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like I used to have like a lot of pairs of like Ferragamo shoes.
Is that a flats?
Yeah, the flats. So in fact today, like when I came, right, I wanted to wear. No, actually I didn't want to wear it, but my daughter's like, "Mommy, can you wear this?" And I'm like, no, not really. Okay. Then you were like, then I was thinking like, shucks, I spent so much on this pair, so. Yeah, okay, so that's spending stuff. But okay, we can have a conversation about that. Okay, but anyway, yes.
Okay.
Any more?
Yes.
Okay, what's your okay? Yes, come.
Yeah, I think we are approaching our last few already.
Okay,
then
sure.
maybe we can ask you about even like some of your own experiences and stuff.
Which ice cream? Okay, can.
Yeah, I think just now you mentioned a lot about investing and how you wish that you focused on it a lot earlier. But I think now it's also a very hot topic on like whether we should start investing when we are at very young ages, like probably at our age as well lah. But I think a lot of people also feel like it's a bit hard to invest because we already have so little money. Then we invest, then it's kind of like a long-term thing. Yeah. So how do you think? What's the importance of like investing really at our age, or maybe should I start like? Can I start like when I'm like 26, 27? Is there a huge difference, and should I really be doing it now?
I would say the advantage that we all have is time. I want to say we all, just you all. But yes, the advantage that you guys have is actually time, right? I think it's not so much about the amount that you can invest in. Of course, you must do have like I would say minimum amount, a good sizable amount. Of course, that is to be determined, right? But say for example you have, I don't know, maybe 10K. Yeah, then perhaps you just look at your portfolio and see. Maybe you won't go into like 5 shares, that kind of. 5 different companies, but you can start small. Yeah, but I feel that when it comes to investment, I think the general young people have interest, right? So some people are very quick to go into it, but some are more hesitant because they don't know what they don't know, right? So I think to not jump into investing, but to really have a fundamental concept and understanding on what you are investing in. So you cannot just, I want to say all in, but basically you cannot just go into something that you don't know. Yeah, so I think that you need to do your homework and understand what you are investing in. Should we start early or should we start 26? If you think about it, if you start at 20 versus you start at 26, that's 6 years. Yeah, so you have 6 years to learn, you have 6 years to grow. Of course, you also have 6 years possibly to fail, but you also can grow from there. Yeah, so I feel that time is the
essence.
Yes, time is really the essence. So sad. Okay, I still have time, just that.
You are young, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm young, just a little bit older than you, right? But if you get the concept, I think that really starting early, and I think it's about being consistent. Yeah. And I think some people have a lot of emotions when it comes to market movement. Yeah, but I think it's about really understanding the fundamentals and really know what you're investing in, so you're not shaken by dips and all. Yeah, so we all know, right? You buy low, you sell high. Of course, easier said than done, right? But a lot of people, because of market something or their own emotions, they see dip, then they sell. So actually you're selling low. Yeah, if you get what I mean. Okay, then we're not going to there, but the idea is, you have the essence of time, make use of it, but don't go into it blindly. It's like you don't go and cover your eyes and then walk into the wall, right? So go in with your eyes open. But the earlier you step in, the I think there's an advantage. Yeah. So that's my sense.
Would you have started earlier also?
Yes, of course. I think I would be a little bit more disciplined with my time also. Yeah, I think it's very natural when you first start working, you want to I'm all out for my job. Yeah, but I think there are different ways to grow your money. Yeah, salary is one form, right? So what are the other pots that you can tap on? Yeah, for me, I was all in on my salary. That's why, all in salary. That's why I focus so much on my career and my job. Yeah, could I then spend a little bit more time to be more disciplined in my investing? Yeah, then that could be very different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So start early. Okay, anyway, yes.
No, yeah, I understand.
Yes.
So what would you say to your younger self if you could have gone back in time?
What would I say to my younger self?
Yeah, because you mentioned that back when you were younger, you didn't touch on the investment side more, right? Or what could you say the younger audiences that you have here?
When it comes to managing, growing your first 100K, I think you need to I mean, if I were to tell my younger self, I'll be more disciplined with my time.